morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be interviewing Jonathan Shivers. He was born in Stockton, in California in 1993. He has a bachelor's in business and biblical studies. He's a pastor, and his inspirational figures are his parents, elders of the church, CEO of Starbucks, and what Steve Jobs did in Apple. He gets his encouragement from his family, the Word of God, and his friends. Current goal is to continue his education, and in the future he wants to travel to Tokyo.
Again, we're under construction right now, so I'm a mess. Forgive me. We've been installing all this concrete, but...
So, what does democracy mean to you?
I look at democracy to be a form of government that represents the people, where the people have a voice. People have some sort of legislative pathway to speak up for themselves. And so I do believe that this country is a form of democracy. You know, we're also, you can't argue we're a republic as well.
Do you think our democracy is fair?
I think any form of government that has to deal with humanity or has human beings like us running it will not be perfect, and it will have flaws because you're dealing with the human factor. And anything that has to do with humanity, there will be human error. There will be mistakes. There will be failures. There will be obstacles. That you're going to have people that have pride. You're going to have people that have greed. You're going to have people that have their own hidden agendas. But in terms of all the countries out there, I think it's one of the best examples out there.
In your opinion, how is the U.S. a democracy?
I would argue we're more a republic than a democracy, because total democracy would be every decision is governed by the people. So if we're going to pave this road out in the city of Stockton, we vote on it, and we figure out what contractor is going to pave the road, and we determine what price we're going to pay them. To me, complete democracy is the people have a voice over everything. Whereas I feel where we have that republic factor is that we voice our democracy by electing people to speak on our behalf. But it's actually those people that play a role in the decision making, in the processes, because we voted them in. And so that's why I would argue we can be a little bit of a republic as well, because they're not the same thing.
What do you think our government can improve on?
Everything. We, the people, have failed to do our job, and a lot of times we vote in who looks good, we vote in who has it all together. For example, study since we've had TV, we have not voted in one bald president in this country. That is the most random thing, but I'm using that example to say sometimes we can be very superficial. Yeah. We're based on appearance, where I don't think we should judge somebody by how they look. I think we should judge somebody by the content of their character. Yeah. And a lot of times we just vote in whoever pays the most money on the billboards and whoever looks the best on TV or in the debates. So I think that's our fault. Wow. And then I think the people we vote in, it's their fault, because they really don't, I feel like they really don't represent us. They represent their sponsors or lobbyists and who's giving them the biggest buck. But I still will say that we can use all these improvements, but there's not a more beautiful country. We're a blessed country. I've been able to travel all over Central America: Honduras, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Panama, Mexico, Costa Rica. They would die to live here. They would die. I mean, we have running water in every home. We have waste management. You know, you got the green trash can, the red one, the yellow. These are things that we just take for granted. Like everybody should have this in the world. Where I don't know the exact percentage, but there's a huge percentage of people that don't even have running water. They don't even have running water in their homes. We have like 3 showers and 5 or 6 faucets and a fridge that's connected to water. We have a washing machine connected to water. We have a dishwasher connected to water, and we still leave the faucets running all the time.
What is your advice for teenagers today about our government?
Study more, research more. Don't listen to TV. Don't let a headline and don't let a TV station tell you who to vote for, and don't let them tell you what is wrong and what is right. I believe that all these sites that tell us what to do, they're owned by somebody. You know, the Washington Journal is owned by Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy. So they're not going to post something if he doesn't like it. So I don't want all these billionaires telling me how I should think, and I don't think these billionaires should be telling you how you should think. I also don't think that you should be pressured or scared to voice your opinion. And I read every day there's a riot going on or a fight, and people are getting beat up on the right and the left.
Do you think democracy is the best option?
I don't think there's a perfect option out there or a best option, because there's not a perfect community out there. There's not a perfect family out there. So it's really hard to say that this is the best option when you're dealing with imperfect people. I do feel it is one of the better options that we have seen you know, in our lifetime. If I could say best, I would say so, but also I'm an American, so I'm biased towards my own country.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think about direct and representative democracy?
I think it is a lot better that we choose the representative path, because what we are doing is we as the people voting or electing somebody to represent us that should have a lot more experience with these things than we do. I do know that if we ran this entire country based on like a poll, like everybody go on Instagram and vote if we're going to remodel downtown Stockton. I do think that all the people will be like, of course, let's go remodel downtown Stockton. And so everybody's going to voice it. But the businessmen are going to speak up. Wait a second. This city's in debt. We don't have money. You want to put us another $500 million in debt? But people aren't going to listen to that. They're going to listen to popularity. Sometimes I think it's good that we elect wise people, humble people, educated people that can speak on our behalf. But a lot of times you got to be careful, because if we elect the wrong kind of people, we don't get represented very well. So I would choose the path of representation. I wouldn't choose this entire community to make every decision for me. I'd get kind of nervous.
How do you feel about our country being a democratic Republican system?
Democratic Republic. So we're not talking about democracy. Are we talking about two-party state?
Yeah.
Okay. I do not like that we are a two-party country. There are a multitude of parties. There's the Green Party. There's the Libertarian Party. Your teachers would probably know more. But let's be honest. The majority of people party themselves with Republican or Democrat. And I honestly think this country would do a lot better if we were a three-party system or a four-party system. Because there's some things I agree with Democrats on, and there's some things I agree with the Republican on. But in this day and age, like, if you don't agree with your party, like, you get attacked. Like, wait, you believe in that? And then your own party will kind of almost make you feel like a traitor in a way.
Do you think we should have any other form of government, like dictatorship?
No. Dictatorship has been effective in certain time periods, but the problem with dictatorship is once you give somebody power, you can't take it back. And two, once you give somebody power, they're going to pass it on to somebody else, and you don't get to choose that next person. And what if the first person that became a dictator was a genius, and the second person that became a dictator was an idiot? We'd have no voice in getting rid of the idiot. So there have been times where dictators, have been effective. I think the closest this country ever had to having a form of dictatorship was probably during World War II, when we elected President Truman to serve 4 terms, whereas now you're only allowed to serve 2 terms. But in that time of World War II, it was literally our entire existence was threatened, and so it had a purpose.
Do you think democracy affects race?
I think in any country or in any community, anything that has to deal with humanity, there will be a form of racism. Like I said, I travel around, and although the United States may feel like we have racism in this country, you go to Mexico, and 99% of the people I see down there are one color of skin. You go to El Salvador, 99% of the people I see down there are one color of skin. I've driven these streets. I didn't see an African American, an Asian, or a white guy anywhere. And so it's easy to say they don't have racism when they're all one race. But then when you have a country like the United States, which literally has every race, in this one beautiful country, of course we're going to have some more obstacles we have to fight for. But I think racism is in every form of government.
In conclusion, Jonathan Shivers loves his country and he wants what's for the best of it. He thinks the government system is good, but we can definitely improve more. Thank you.